Hello and welcome back to my channel. Now, I wanted to come on here today and talk about preconception health. In a recent video I posted about how I was getting my body ready. I'm not ready to have a baby just yet. Me and my partner would like to start trying maybe in the next 12 months. So I wanted to go through some of the things that I was doing to help prepare my body for that. I wanted to give myself time to get my body ready. So that's what I'm going to go through with you today. Let's go through some of the things I'm doing to prepare my body. Firstly, I went and had a preconception health check with my GP. I went in and had some blood tests done. So things she looked at was my thyroid. She looked at vitamin deficiency, so vitamin D, B12, folate, iron. She also checked my rubella status and then just did some general blood screening. So a full blood examination, HIV, Hep B, Hep C, those sort of things. Everything came back within normal ranges, which is really good. I requested a copy of my blood results because I like to keep a record of them, and I highly recommend that you do the same as well. Especially it's good to look over the years. If you go for tests again, you can always compare them to what they were previously. So yes, even though my results were within normal ranges, there was one test that I could see that I probably needed to do a little bit better in terms of my health, and that was my vitamin D. Now, majority of us probably have vitamin D deficiency where we're always told to wear sunscreen and protect our skin. And then especially we're in the middle of winter here in Melbourne, so we don't get a lot of sun. Although it has been nice the last couple of days, which is, I guess, a nice change. But we don't get a lot of sunshine in winter. So we do probably have lower levels of vitamin D. The thing about vitamin D for fertility, it's not sort of, I guess, known exactly how vitamin D impacts fertility. It does play a role in hormone production, ovarian function, and follicular development. So there is a need for vitamin D. Normally, when you get your blood test done, they like to see it above the level of 50. But for fertility purposes, and something I work with my clients on, is I want to see it closer to 100. That is probably a really good level for it to be in terms for fertility purposes. So my level was actually 61, and that's quite low for me. I've had it a bit higher in other times as well. So that's one thing that I'm doing. I'm making sure that I'm increasing the vitamin D in my, the foods and things that I'm eating. So eggs, oily fish, fortified breads and cereals, those sort of things. But I'm also going to supplement. I want to try and quickly boost it up and sort of help get my levels up to that closer to 100. So I'm taking some vitamin D drops. You can take it in tablet form as well. It's whatever you feel comfortable with. But that's what I'm going to do for the next few months to try and sort of give it a bit of a boost. And then I'll probably just do a maintenance dose just to sort of keep it at the levels that I would like to see it at for fertility purposes. So that's one thing that I'm doing. Another thing that I've done, which is so important for pregnancy and neural tube defects, is folic acid. So I've started taking a pregnancy vitamin. It is normally recommended to take a pregnancy vitamin, with at least 400 micrograms of folic acid at least a month before you want to get pregnant. I'm going to try and do this over the next sort of 6 to 12 months, but whenever we decide to start trying again. So that's what I'm doing now. I'm also taking a fish oil, and that's because me and my partner, we don't eat a lot of fish in our diet. Even though I'd like to eat more, unfortunately, I'm just not a fish person. So I'm definitely going to supplement to help that. Now, fish oil in terms of fertility is really good for egg quality, as well as sperm quality for your partner. So that's why I'm going to start taking that. And then the other benefit of it is once I do get pregnant, I will continue taking fish oil because it's really good for early stages of development, especially brain development in the fetus and the baby. So I'm going to keep taking that once I get pregnant as well. I do know last time in my last pregnancy, I felt so sick. I had to stop taking a lot of my supplements and just really take my folic acid and my pregnancy multivitamin. So we'll see if once I do get pregnant, if I will be able to continue taking them this time. I just had the worst nausea the whole way through my pregnancy. So, but the plan will be to try and take it, during my pregnancy as well. So that's the plan. So that's another thing that I'm doing. The other things that we're working on in terms of the rest of my diet and lifestyle, I'm pretty happy with what I'm doing at the moment. Since stopping breastfeeding, I've still been eating really healthy. I've been exercising, been going to the gym at least, 2 times or even 3 times a week, or going for walks on the days that I don't go to the gym. So I actually feel like in my body, I'm probably the fittest and probably getting back to the strength I had before I got pregnant the first time, which is so good to feel. Like I feel so good in my body. So I'm going to keep doing that because exercise has so many benefits, not just for fertility, but for, it's actually really good. I find it really good for my mental health. So I do it for myself to move my body in ways that I enjoy to sort of, get all the benefits that exercise brings to it and movement brings to it. So I'll keep doing that. Diet-wise, I don't feel like I have to change too much. like I said, I've been eating pretty healthy since, for breastfeeding purposes. And then once I stopped breastfeeding, I've just continued. So I'm not too concerned about my diet in that aspect. Before we got pregnant the first time, me and my partner have been really conscious about endocrine disrupting chemicals and try and make small changes over time. Still, we have eliminated quite a lot of common things. So, changing to glass, Tupperware, use eco-friendly chemicals. So dishwashing liquid, laundry liquid, all those sort of things. We've already changed those things in our lifestyle to be more eco-friendly. Same with my skincare. I've moved to things that don't contain as much chemicals and things just because I find it's better for my skin as well. I don't break out or doesn't cause any issues with my skin. So we feel like in that area, we've just continued that. That's something we're going to continue doing probably from now on. So that aspect has been really good too. The final thing I want to talk about is my menstrual cycles. Now, I've only had 3 menstrual cycles since having my son, Ren, which I had him in July last year. I didn't get my period back until I completely stopped breastfeeding. So I found that really interesting. I was monitoring and charting my cycle. I'm a big charter. And of course, if you want to learn how to chart your menstrual cycle, even if it's just learning about your body, doesn't mean you don't have to use it just to try and conceive. You can also use it as a way to avoid pregnancy. Which we had been doing, but I've been looking at my cycle and waiting for my fertility to return. I think the big thing that for people to know, especially postpartum, is that your fertility returns before you get a period. You ovulate and have a chance of conceiving before you get your first period. So I was so excited to see my temperature rise and confirm that I've ovulated, but my cycles have been a little bit not irregular. My luteal phase, that second half of my menstrual cycle, has been really short. And I guess, my communication pathways between my brain and my ovaries are just getting back up and running again. So they might take a little bit of time to sort of get back to the normal pathways. They haven't been doing their normal thing for so long now. So I noticed the first cycle I had a 4-day luteal phase, so very, very short. The next one was 9 days, but again, ovulation was a bit slow. I did see in that as well. I had a really slow temperature rise. So this time around, this cycle, I can see that my menstrual cycle has come back to normal. I've had a really good luteal phase, normal length, 12 days, perfect. So really good to sort of see that happening and my body returning to normal and knowing that I am having fertile cycles where if we did want to conceive and when we do decide we want to, my cycles now are back to normal, which is so good. The other thing I was so concerned about, I had so many other mums say, oh, be careful of, the first period, it's so painful and all this. And I was so worried about it. But I guess all these things that I've been doing, working on my health, I feel like my periods have just arrived with no issue at all, which has been really good. I've had really beautifully flowing blood. I know that sounds, TMI, I probably should flag TMI, but it just shows that my lining is coming away quite nicely. It hasn't been clotty or anything like that. And yeah, very minimal pain. So my menstrual cycles in that aspect have been really good too. So that's been really positive to see as well. So these are all the things that I'm doing to help prepare my body, and I'll continue doing over the next 6 to 12 months once we do decide to start trying. And I'll continue to take you on that journey with me. So let me know if you have any questions. Or of course, if you want to work with me, head to my website, www.stephanieann.com.au. I do one-on-one programs. I have a tech support membership. Whatever it may be on your fertility that you need help with, know that I'm here to be your private fertility nurse and women's health and fertility educator. So get in contact with me if you want to work together. And as always, sending love, luck, and a sprinkle of baby dust.